what we've witnessed doesn't necessarily continue, right, with this idea and this concept. And what I was going to do was talk to these sovereign movements, these ones that proclaim sovereignty with no real understanding of what that means. Turning up to a government and saying we are sovereign is not sovereign, because sovereign, you're accepting that they have authority. Having to proclaim sovereignty when you have no freedom is not sovereignty. All of these ideas and concepts are flawed and fundamentally based in a fear-based thinking. Changing the system of governance is not changing the system. It's changing a part of it, and in your wording of it, it doesn't have an effect. It just has a feeling, and all it is doing is prolonging, based on your concepts of what you can do and the lack of belief in what GPMS is doing. So inside all of this is exactly right. There is no define. There was a lot of distortion. This is another reason why we've gone above it with the proclamation and the universal being earlier, to unite all of these groups, these sovereign and freedom groups, under one simple clause that does not ask for it. It declares it, but it only declares it in a universal nation. Again, you can declare your own sovereignty, but that doesn't mean you are. You're still got to go to a passport office. You still got to go to all of these things. It doesn't quite work inside the system. Now, until the system is taken down, until the system is changed, nobody is truly sovereign. It's just a statement. You can carry yourself with sovereignty. You can carry yourself and say, I am, until you turn up at a border. Then good luck with it, you know, and all of these ideas. Go into any bank and say, give me money, I'm sovereign. If it was true, you would be able to do that. But it isn't yet, because the system still is there. And this is what we must see. So all of these groups can just see that it's the system, not the government, not the aspect of it, but the whole thing, and unite around freedom and abundance. That's what GPMS says. And it's very, very simple. And this is why Rick says it's a moral obligation. And of course it is. Denying the system fault and thinking you can change it from within is not following your highest morality. It's following a fear-based narrative where you think you've got the solutions and the world hasn't. But Rick, you got your hand up.
Thanks, Lee. What I wish to say, let's say personally from Rick, what I see with the Philippines, is such a very powerful, pivotal, instrumental piece of GPMS right now, and they just need to be oriented fully with GPMS. The numbers are coming in great. However, we know that the immediate, instant potential and capacity of Philippines with GPMS is already there, meaning that there are many tens of millions at least. And with Philippine people, they have entertained all of the negative things through history, through the course of time. They don't need any more education to know that the system is the problem. So again, very quickly, they just need to shift their perspective. And by doing this, the Philippines at this time with GPMS, from my personal perspective, is the most pivotal people that can move GPMS forward very quickly for the entire world. So by being this peer and getting the numbers in here with GPMS, it's going to cause catalytic reaction from the others. It's going to cause chain reactions from all of the other people's sovereign groups worldwide, because what sovereign is in this reality is separated people. It's segregation. It's not in alignment with GPMS. The only way it can be is they must all converge and unite together. Then we create the full, free, and abundant world. So it's only common sense with this. And I see the absolute full divine potential and capacity of the Philippines at leading GPMS forward into this new, very instant, rapid era of growth. And all of the Filipino brothers and sisters are so important. And from my perspective, they are divinely designated with with this role to play this part for the people of the world. And this is a very honorable and noble role in all respects, in divine respects, but also for the planet, from the earthly respects, for all people, for all humanity. You know, you look at your great resistance of perhaps a 500,000 military that is for the people. That is such a significant force aligned for the people with full peace and harmony. This military doesn't need guns, because guns are and military equipment are nothing against the power of GPMS. The power of GPMS is absolute peace, meaning that a gun or what have you cannot do anything with it to that respect, for the energetics will not allow it. Once these militia are aligned with the absolute peace and taking GPMS forward, it just a huge snowball effect worldwide. And Lee, perhaps you can add with that what I'm saying.
It's very close. It's not a frustration. It's one of those things where we're just seeing an obstacle that's being created through a false sense of achievement. And again, I'm not saying it's not good what's been going on. It's just not quite aligned to the bigger picture. But it can be, and it can be aligned very, very quickly. And my messaging over here is, with what is already here in the Philippines, you have the optimal chance, not even chance, you're divinely primed to create a paradigm shift across the rest of the world. Many countries believe, you know, in their own concepts, that Philippines has got all of this gold and all of this riches and all of this wealth. Well, if the people actually unite around a newer concept where that's meaningless, the rest of the world will take a look at what they're not looking for gold. They're not looking for these things that we're being promised. They're not looking for material backing. They're looking for absolute freedom. And the Philippines have the opportunity to do this. And there are the people in the groups here that are just not, they know of GPMS, but they're still slightly deviating at the moment. And that's, you know, again, what we're talking to is not the problem. We're talking to the solution. And this is where, you know, what you've just said, brother, is beautiful. You know, it is divinely placed. We are divinely placed here. The Philippines, what's going on with the government and what's going on in the world, are divinely placed to choose absolute freedom and take nothing less. And what they're trying to do is take a lot less. So we are very, very close, and we are pivotal. It is a monumental time here. We just need to redefine what it is that we are talking to and put this into the collective consciousness, have this open discussion about it, speak to it openly so others can see, and then push that forwards. So this is what we're doing, you know, and this is what's happening here, even if it is tedious at times, but it is what it is.
Thank you, brother. You know, with this, and for anyone and everyone worldwide, gold, silver, jewels, anything that has an external value is only a hindrance. It is a resistance from taking humanity forward. And this is why GPMS fully activates the intrinsic value, which is unlimited and cannot be controlled by any small party, let's say, that owns gold or what have you. So again, you need to look at all of these other instruments as hindrances because of who controls them. And again, we go back to the internet and, you know, the banking worldwide. Who controls this? Well, you have your central banks from every government, but your government and your banks are all connected as one, and they use the falsity of gold and silver, precious metals, derivatives, stock. They use all of this as a false sense of value that actually robs the value from the individual. So the most common sense thing to do is for everyone, what we do with GPMS, what we're saying, you are the value. No value would exist on gold or anything else if you were not here. So for the very simple reason you're here upon the planet, you are the absolute value. And the most common sense thing to do is for everyone to unite together and activate this, eradicate poverty, all of these inflictions of misery and discomfort and hardship upon the planet, eradicated instantly. That is the most common sense and the most moral thing that you ever could do. So
I am a
it
divine
is as
universal
simple.
being. I am a
Yeah.
divine universal being. I am the value, not the material that people tell me that is valuable, but I am the value. And once we all agree with that, there is no more poverty. It's that, it is that simple. I do no harm. Once we all agree with that, there is no harm done. It's that simple on a co-creational level. But yeah, again,